Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my alma mater, Liberty High School in Brentwood, California, as S51 Sports brings you Week 3 coverage here in the PCFL, that being the Pacific Coast Football League, as the PACIFICA Islanders make their way to the far East Bay to take on the SouthBeach OUTLAWS. My name is Michael K. Smith, also known as Mike on the Mic, and I'm honored to be here at the place that I called home for 4 glorious years of high school football, that being Olmsted Field. The Pacifica Islanders have been a long-time staple in the Pacific Coast Football League, a predominant powerhouse and 2-time national champion, and they come into tonight's game with a split record of 1-1 on the season. This early 2015 season has seen them lose their season opener, that being on the road 2 weeks ago, 32-22 against the very tough North Bay Rattlers. And then they bounced back last week at home with an impressive victory, a shutout at that, a 19-0 score over the Salinas Spartans. The Islanders are led on offense by their starting signal caller, that being the quarterback Matt Pelesasa, who leads the PCFL in both pass completions and attempts. He has thrown for 431 yards so far in the early season with 3 touchdowns to go with it. He has plenty of playmakers surrounding him in the backfield, most notably Jason Harrison and Marquise Brooks have really been playing a good part and a huge role for their offense. They have succeeded this season, as well as their speedy wideouts in Michael Gates and Jihad Mahason, who can burn past anyone in the league. They each have had huge touchdowns for the Islanders offensively. On defense, they have Sorrell Davis, who once played Division I football at Kansas State. He leads the team in tackles with 14. 3 of those have been for loss, and he loves to get in the backfield and disrupt opponents' offensive rhythm. He also has a sack on the season, and he's just one piece of the puzzle in what I feel could be the most talented secondary in the entire PCFL. You pair him with Joe Chesso, who has 13 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. Local high school standout Roman Runner, who played for the rival Freedom Falcons of Oakley, California, who has 11 tackles on the season, and as well as a forced fumble. And he also, Roman with an interception. And speaking of interceptions, Pocky Gordon, or should I say Picky Gordon, has, he not only leads his team, but the entire PCFL with 3 interceptions, 61 return yards, 2 deflections to go with that, and then Rashad Swanson has 2 steals of his own in the interception game, plus a fumble recovery. As for the home team, the SouthBeach OUTLAWS, who last season changed their team name and team colors in an attempt to revitalize the organization and its fan base, rode through last season with a revenge chip on their shoulder after a narrow decision in the 2013 title game against the Delta Ducks, in which they came up short. They wanted to prove their championship pedigree to anyone paying attention to the PCFL as they put their pads and their playmaking skills to the test, talking the talk, as they affectionately were known as Mouth Beach, and then walking the walk, as they were a tough team to tangle with week in and week out in the regular season. They wrapped up the 2014 season by winning the PCFL championship in dominating fashion and staying true to their team's owner's motto of ring fingers up. This 2015 season, however, has started off rather slow and sluggish for the defending league champions, that being the SouthBeach OUTLAWS, who have yet to score a victory in the team's first 2 contests, losing their league opener 2 weeks ago on the road to a familiar foe in the capital city as the newly named River City Royals, a rival team with a lot of carryover players from the defunct Delta Ducks, dethroned, or should I say defeated the Outlaws 38-16, and then last week here in their home opener, they were doubled up by the dominant North Bay Rattlers 30-15. Quarterback Scotty Gordier, who emerged as a starter in the team's season opener last year, is back behind center. And tonight, he is actually going to be out of the lineup as he was injured in last week's contest. So we'll have to see Josh Bula come in replacement and see how he does running the show. But really about SouthBeach OUTLAW, it's all about the running backs. A powerful 1-2 punch in Tommy Hampton and Tim Thomas. Throughout the 2 weeks so far, Tommy leads all running backs in the PCFL with 3 rushing touchdowns and is tied for the league lead in carries with 22. As for Timmy, he has 17 carries and is also a returning threat out of the backfield. A do-it-all back, as he described himself to us in the home opener for last season. Fan favorite and fun name to announce, Whoosh, is back again this season as one of the best receivers on the team with nearly identical stats to another great receiver in John Mosley. Each have 4 receptions, 40-plus yards, the long team or individual long reception of 20-plus yards, and an average of just over 11 yards per reception, but each are still waiting for their first touchdowns on the season. Defensively, the Outlaws have been led by their main man, linebacker Mo Johnson, who is one of the league leaders in tackles with 13, 5 of which have been for a loss this season, and he's the only player on the team to have picked off a pass this season for the Outlaws. The Vincent brothers have also been wrecking havoc, with free safety Thaddeus, a.k.a. All-Purpose, having a fine season, 12 tackles of his own to go along with 3 pass deflections, which are among the league's top 5 leaders in that category. And defensive end Terrell, a.k.a. T-Dot Vincent, who is tied for second on the team with Anthony Yahimi Edwards in tackles for loss with 4. Add to that 3 individual sacks, which is right below the league leaders, the 2 who lead the league with 4 sacks. And an area that could come into play for tonight's game for both teams could be special teams, where for the Islanders, Jihad Mayhason, a guy I spoke of earlier, returned a kickoff 95 yards for a touchdown. He is the only 2 players in the entire PCFL with kickoff returns for touchdown. And as for the Outlaws, Johnny on the spot, as I like to call him, has often had his name called upon for punting the ball, as he has 2 touchbacks this season, tied for the league lead in that aspect, and also has been known to convert some PATs. He's 3 for 3 on the season, and he's the only player on the team to have been called upon for a 2-point conversion, where he was successful at that. He is one of only 2 players in the league with successful 2-point conversions. The only other, Rob City P. Sherman, a former teammate of his who is now with the Golden Gate Dragons. So who will win tonight? That is the big question on hand here at Olmsted Field in Liberty, California. For the Pacifica Islanders, it's a chance to improve their win total to over 500 through 3 games. And for the Outlaws, they're looking for their first win. Not only would it be their first win of the season, but it would be the first win here in front of their hometown fans at Liberty High School, their new home site, compared to last year when they played their games at Miramonte High School in Orinda. They're looking to start some momentum of their own, as, like I said, the Islanders are looking to get their 2nd win in a row. We'll be back with some interviews with some of the key players on each squad, and then get ready for some great game action when the Islanders of Pacifica square off with the South Beach Outlaws. But don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to S51 Sports. Michael K. Smith with S51 Sports here pregame for Week 3 action in the Pacific Coast Football League as the Pacifica Islanders travel to Brentwood to take on the South Beach Outlaws. I'm with one of the South Beach Outlaw wide receivers, that being Kiko, a.k.a. K.O. Garcia. Kiko, last year you guys won the championship. How'd that feel?
Obviously, it felt great. I mean, a lot of people didn't expect us to do it, so we made it happen. We took some losses early in the season, so they didn't think we was going to bounce back. And, I mean, we bounced back, stuck together as a team and a family, and made it happen. That's the same thing we pushing for this year. Starting off slow right now, but we know in-house what's going on here. So what's being put out there for the public to see as far as the scoring with the games and all that, I mean, yeah, it's bad enough we lost, but we all right. We still feeling good.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing about your team last year. It wasn't just the talent that you had, but I felt the chemistry was just on par for what you need for a championship. How do you feel this year? It looked like a lot of returning players. You didn't really lose too much on that end. And how you guys feeling about the team chemistry this year?
Shit, the same. We a family. You know me. We a family. We a mob. You know what I mean? When we step on this field, it's about family, and we a mob. You know, all men, all for one, one for all. So, same. We coming in with the same attitude. You know, we lost a few players, but we also gained a few players. So, sure. I mean, you know.
Well, speaking of losing a player, you're losing your starting quarterback tonight in Scotty Cordier, who's going to be sidelined with an injury. But he says Josh Bula, the backup, is ready to come in and might even be more athletic than him. So what do you think about Josh? Have you had some time to work with him this week? And do you feel you'll be on par to have a great day with the backup today?
Oh, yeah, of course. Josh is an outlaw, so we know he's ready. He's ready to go just like all of us. It's bad we don't have Scotty being our leader, but, I mean, I guess we're luckily have 2 leaders. You feel what I'm saying? So he's the quarterback. I'm the receiver. I'm doing my job today.
And last but not least, I used to do my job here at this field on the sidelines. You feel me? I got some play, though, and when I did, I always made plays happen. But, yeah, I was here 4 years. This was my home field. What's it like playing here so far? I know you've only played 1 game here compared to last year when you played at Miramonte High School in Orinda, California. But what do you think of Brentwood, man? You liking it out here? You like this field?
Yeah, I like the field. I like the environment. But, you know, when them Saturdays come around, football, grass, dirt, sand, it don't matter, man. As long as my guys here and we ready to go, we going to get it in. So.
Last but not least, what's it going to take for a victory tonight?
For us to get the win?
Yeah.
For us to get the win. Okay. We got to go out here and get the win.
Okay. Hey. You heard it from Garcia. He's going to go get that win. I'm Michael K. Smith, S51 Sports. We'll be right back. All right, we're back here with another member of the South Beach Outlaws, that being Terrell Vincent, a.k.a. T-Dot. And Terrell, you've been one of the stellar parts of the puzzle here for this team at the defensive end position. A lot of tackles for loss for you and a couple sacks along the way, man. How have you been able to be so disruptive in the backfield so far in the early season?
I've been working through the week. That's all. I just be putting the work in through the week. This game is easy. It's the preparation that's hard.
And what makes the preparation so hard?
Because I'll be pushing myself. Like, I'm not that young no more, so I can't just come out here and play without stretching and working out and stuff. So during the week, I just push, and come out here and just play the game I love.
And what's it like just to be out there? I know we have plans of doing a feature on you rather soon in the future, but what's it like being out there with your brother, one of the team captains, and both of you guys just having a real great start to the side of the ball on defense?
I'm not just playing for me. I'm playing for these boys out here. And my brother on the team, I die for him. So I'm balling. I'm balling for him. I'm balling for the South Beach Outlaws. But playing with my brother is crazy.
Speaking of the South Beach Outlaws, what was it like winning the championship with the South Beach Outlaws last year?
Man, that was my first championship. What you think, man? We was popping bottles out here and everything.
You guys are 0-2 to start the season. Do you feel that you're still in somewhat of a championship hangover?
Yes. You will see. We'll make it to the end.
What is it going to take for you guys on the defensive side of the ball to get the victory tonight? When I asked Kiko on the offense, he just said get the win, period. But what's it going to take defensively for you guys to beat Pacifica, who, they're 1-1. They're coming off a victory last week, and they have a great quarterback in Pelisasa.
We got to stop the run. We got to make it one-dimensional, stop the run, make them pass. And that's my specialty, getting to the quarterback.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for your time, Terrell, a.k.a. T-Dot. And this is Michael K. Smith with S51. We'll be back.
Thank you.
And on the first play for the scrimmage, it is a run for direction one more time. It's 3-0. Goes to J.K. Harrison. Once again, the South Beach Outlaws will overrun on their far side. Got the ball there. And the ball goes behind the end zone for a safety for your Outlaws. That means that the Outlaws will be returning a kick as well. For the ball there, and the punt return was fumbled by the returner for the Islanders. Early indications are Outlaw ball. Yes! Get down the ball! There was number 18, Will Thompson.
That's number 13, John Mosley, actually.
Correction, number 13, John Mosley. The pass is complete. Inside the field. Intended target was for Gm3. Quarterback. Himself, that being number 17, John Second and goal. Kick is up and good. And you're going to make this now take the lead. However, there was a full play. Scrambles with the ball itself and steps out of bounds to stop the clock.
business trip. It has to be.
Come on, defense!
Pass is complete. And let's also to receiver for the Islanders. There might have been a fumble on the play. And it is indeed a fumble recovery.
It's like going out with somebody and not putting out.
Looks to be a catch.
Stop the clock. Stop the clock.
Islanders run a ball. It'll be stopped short of first down. Fortier's pass is complete. Throw across the field. Ball 9. PACIFICA Islanders now improved to 2-1 on the season. And SouthBeach OUTLAWS are at 0-3.
Michael K. Smith here with S51 Sports post-game after the SouthBeach Outlaws fall to 0-3 on the season, losing their second straight at home, this time by a final score of 18-9. However, the bright point in this game was their defense. They made stops when they had to, and one of those key playmakers today was Willie Thompson, number 45 on the defense. Willie, unfortunately, came up a little short once again, and this just seems to be kind of a trend here with the defense playing well, offense struggling at times. You know, you guys had a backup at quarterback today. Scotty Gortier started the game with an injury. He came on in the end trying to provide a spark. It wasn't enough, but at least talk about your defense. You guys really did a good job of stopping the run when you had to, coming up large on a couple goal line stands, especially with the run game, and really not letting the passer in Palisea really do too much against you guys.
Well, our defense, we focus hard on the run, and unfortunately, like you see on the scoreboard, sometimes we come up short, sometimes like we get the plays that we want. I mean, the defensive line does a great job. Linebackers, they feel when they need, and that's what we need. And then the secondary, we got to get it together. I mean, it's hard because we don't practice as much, but now like we barely have players here. So I mean, if we stick with these 11 on the field, then we can get it done late in the season and hopefully make playoffs.
You know, the game got a little chippy out there at points in time. There were a lot of unsportsmanlike penalties throughout the game. What could you attribute that to? I mean, maybe things I didn't see from the press box, but what was really going down on there, down there on the field?
It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of talking. And us as a defense, we have to learn, like, we have to block it out. I mean, it's football. Everybody gonna talk. Block it out. Play your game. Don't let nobody get you out your character. You're gonna have a great game. You let somebody get you out your character, then what you gonna do? You're gonna play sloppy, then miss plays. And that's how the game goes. I mean, we gotta get better on that, especially myself.
And what are the steps that you guys can take to get better?
I mean, other than practice and come together as a team, it's not really much. I mean, everybody needs to just, stay focused and keep that eye on the prize.
Right. Well, Willie, I just want to thank you for your time, man, and go get them next week. I know you guys are hungry to want to put a 1 in front of your record, and just a hard-fought effort, though, by the defense. I just want to thank you for that. And that's Willie Thompson signing off for the SouthBeach Outlaws.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
And then I'm now joined by Lance Butler. Lance, today marked the return for you. You were out for last week's game. I think you were out for the first game as well. You know, you were one of the key players on last year's championship team. Tell me, you know, Dom Vargas was in the stands, and I know you guys miss him this year. You and him at the linebacker position were phenomenal last year. What's really going on, though? I mean, is it more than just Dom? I mean, it seems like he's a key piece to your defense last year and stopping the things up the middle. There were points of time where Harrison really had his way throughout the run game.
We gave them a lot of yards that they shouldn't have got. We just got to step up and play football, like we know how to. I mean, second half we got better at it. They had a few big runs, but we got to stop shooting ourselves from the foot with the penalties. And that's really what hurt us in the long run.
Yeah, it wasn't just the unsportsmanlike calls, but also a couple of offside penalties as well, encroachment penalties. How can you guys stop that? I mean, is there a way to stop that?
All discipline. We just got to become a more disciplined team. Point blank and simple. We become a more disciplined team, we'll be champions again. Simple. It's that simple.
At 0-3, is there still a way to salvage this season?
Yeah, everything is still in front of us. Like, championship is not out the door. When's the last time you heard of a perfect champion? It's very rare. So everything's still in front of us. You can be 5-5 and still be the champion. So everything, our goals are still ahead of us. And we just got to get to work.
All right. Well, thank you, Lance, for joining us, and I'm glad to see you back out on the field today. And hopefully, best of luck next week as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last but not least, we're joined by my man. Your name once more?
Maybon. Tremaine Maybon.
Tremaine Laybon. And
Maybon.
Tremaine, what was it like out there? I mean, what kind of problems were the Islanders presenting for you guys out there on the field today?
I honestly feel their defense pressured our offense a lot, but defensively we the same. We just got to get back composed, keep our head in the game. Killed ourselves on a lot of mental mistakes as far as penalties go and offsides, but you know, it's a lot of new faces here. So of course the whole core from the championship team isn't here, but you know, we still got some of the pieces there. We just got to get everybody else in the mix and on point.
And how do you do that? I mean, I know you guys all have lives, and it's really hard to get that time to practice, but obviously that seems like maybe something that you might need to stress and might, as the leaders of this team, try to pull these young guys and new guys aside and say, hey, look, maybe we need to go to, you know, more practices than we've been doing. Is that workable?
Definitely. A lot of our vocal leaders aren't here anymore. You know, Rob Sherman, Dom Vargas, you know, Amari Green. You know, a lot of us lead by example, like myself, Lance Butler, Mo Johnson, John Miller, but a lot of us wasn't a lot of vocal leaders like that. So maybe we just need to, you know, get it. You know, can I cuss? I don't want to cuss.
Well, what I'll stop you there, but what I'm saying is, do you guys have that in you now to not only lead by example, but also lead vocally? Because sometimes, you know, they need to be, you know, people are both audio and visual learners, and maybe, you know, they need to be, they can't just lead by example. You have to be able to show them with vocality as well. Can you guys be those kind of guys to now turn the switch and be vocal leaders as well?
Well, this has been my first game back. Definitely now that I see it, you know, I'll be in their butt a lot. So, you know what I mean, get on them vocally and lead by example, definitely. I mean, what, 2 years ago we started off, I think, 0-3, 1-3 or something like that, and made it to a championship game. It's not over. The real season started in the playoffs. We just meshing right now.
Vocally, what would be the message you would send to the new guys?
Keep their head in the game. Speak with the pads, not too much with their mouth. It's too much talking out here.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. And my man, keep it real. You know, hey, they're known as Mouth Beach, and maybe they have to have a little bit less Mouth Beach if they're going to pull off some victories here. But thank you so much for your time, and I wish the Outlaws best of luck as they're looking at this as a brand new start to the season. 0-3, they're going to try to wipe the slate clean and come into next week's game 0-0. So once again, this is Michael K. Smith signing off from my alma mater, Olmsted Field here at Liberty High School in Brentwood, California, for S51 Sports and its coverage of Week 3 action in the Pacific Coast Football League.